Yeah, I've been searching for that feeling, the love that light, the kind that it's the healing. Every step I take, I'm learning who I'm meant to be. Searching for that feeling, and its presence I release. The pain, the years, the fears, he is always by my side, listening right there. The Most High is his name. I will never be the same. The creator of me, the man also known as Yahweh the Great. I am.
Why I decided to do YouTube. The 3 reasons was I almost died 3 times. I was at the gym. I had a heart attack at the gym. I had 100% blockage, and time was of the essence. And so with time being of the essence, having 100% blockage, they had to rush me in and do a stent. And I have a stent that had to go in through my arm and give me a stent. And that happened back in June 2016. I had that heart attack. And so that was event number 1. Event number 2 was I was at my property, and I had in my crawl space where it had flooded. And I was certified in flood damage mitigation. So it was like a foot of water that got down there. So I was really into what I was doing. And the thing is that I have a standby generator, a Generac generator, and lo and behold, the exhaust from that propane generator was coming down into the vent, down into the crawl space. And I didn't know it. My wife and I was cleaning up the mess. It was mud. It was just a mess down there. And we was working on it. So my wife decided to go upstairs. And I said, okay, babe, you gotta go upstairs. I'll stay down here and get this squared away. And then the next thing I know, I told my wife, I said, babe, I don't feel very well. And she said, well, go outside and go get some fresh air. And that's what I did. I went outside. It was dark. And when you're in the mountains, it's very dark. There's no street lights. And the only thing you can see in the stars, and they're very beautiful. And I remember going outside. I walked outside, and I felt like I wanted to pass out. And I started getting dizzy, and I opened the back of her RAV. I opened that up, and I sat down real quick because I felt like I was going to face plant. And then the next thing you know, my wife comes out a matter of minutes later, and she says, Billy, are you okay? And I could not respond to her. I could hear her, but I couldn't respond to her. And the next thing I know, I had exited my body, and I was outside of my body. And it was a soft pull. I floated out. And the next thing I could hear is my wife praying. She said, oh, Yah, which means God. She says, please, please don't take my husband. And I was out of my body, and I paused. And then I came back into my body. So that was very serious business there. And then the third time I almost died, so that was August 5th of 2017, the carbon monoxide poisoning. And then August the 25th of 2017, I had a routine colonoscopy. I went in for a colonoscopy. They had me under anesthesia. And I flatlined twice. And I didn't know it. Of course, I was under. But my wife, I remember my wife being there, and then the 3 doctors. And one of them was an anesthesiologist. And my wife was looking very serious, and her eyes were watery, and she said, they almost lost you. I said, what? I flatlined twice doing that colonoscopy, and they had to stop it. They couldn't go on any further. And so that was the 3rd event where I almost died. And here again, when you have these things happen, like I said, June of 2016, the heart attack at the gym, August, and that was 100% blockage. I have a stent. August the 5th of 2017, the carbon monoxide poisoning, and then the flatlining twice, August 25th, 2017. So when you have these events happen, you start to reevaluate, and that's what I did. And then the Most High began to deal with me that He blesses us to be a blessing. And I realized that this life is more than just mine. It's not about me doing what I want or doing my will, but it's about His will being done in my life and through my life. And so that brings me to, at 59, why I'm doing YouTube. Another situation is, I'll never forget, my mom had passed, and my family asked me to speak at my mom's funeral. And I said, okay. And during that time, I said, you know what, I'm going to focus on the good times with my mom. And that's what I did. Leading up to the funeral, I focused on the good times. And I focused on how good my mom was to me. I couldn't ask for a better mom. My mom loved me. She nurtured me. Just an awesome mom. I'm so grateful for her that she raised me. And with that, I spoke at the funeral, and the title of the message that I gave was Die Right. Die Right. And what do I mean by that? When you almost die a few times, you kind of get a little more spiritual about things. I was already spiritual and loving and knowing the Most High and reading my word, but it was something, there was a shift. It's kind of like hitting overdrive in a car. When you're going fast, you hit overdrive. So I was going down the road, but I hit overdrive spiritually and being more serious about my commitment. And so I remember at the funeral, I mentioned to people as far as making sure that when we die empty, basically. We don't have guilt, unforgiveness, hatred towards anyone, but that we have love. And that was the summary of the message. It's just loving people and forgiving people, and just being at peace with yourself. And I had a few people, I don't know, at least 5 people I know of, that came up to me and says, "Oh, you need to preach. You need to preach." And I've heard this before. I was asked to preach at a couple of churches. They had me in there as the guest speaker to speak, but I never felt like I was a preacher. And I don't claim to be a preacher, but I guess there's something in me that resonates with something in them, and they feel like what I was sharing was a benefit to them. And then I had some of the other guys, even in jiu-jitsu, I've trained for some years, that said, "Man, you got your Billyisms or your wisdom." And I can't take credit for that. And wisdom comes from the Most High, and wisdom is the ability to make a right choice. And I haven't always made right choices, but I've made better choices. And we can tell if we made a good choice or not. Because if it's a good choice, it'll be a good choice today. It'll be a good choice next week, next month, next year. You look back on that decision and be like, that was a good decision. So my purpose for this YouTube channel is to see you become a better version of yourself, spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. And to stimulate that in you, that we can always do better. I can do better. You can do better. And with doing better, we can have a better life. Through making better choices, we can have a better life. It's all cause and effect. Sowing and reaping. That which we sow is what we're going to reap. So that's what was on my heart today, is to learn why at 59, why I decided to YouTube. And just understanding that. And knowing also that things have changed as far as there's guys in there, as far as the mental side of it and the financial side of it. You have guys in their 20s and 30s that are becoming very wealthy off of content. And I said, well, let me explore that. I did not want to go into the future with landline thinking in a cell phone world. Landline thinking in a cell phone world. That's meaning holding on and staying tethered to things of the past. It's kind of like, you look at Quest, the landline companies, they're not around no more. Everyone's got a cell phone. Everyone's mobile. Everyone has a cell phone. So the thing is that we need to be mobile and diversified in the things that we do. And as far as in even making money, even in business, I've always been one to be diversified, meaning there's more than one way that you're generating some type of income. And so that's my encouragement to you today, is to take and be a better version of yourself. Just don't talk about it. Be about it. And get that stuff. Today is all we have. We don't have tomorrow. We don't have yesterday. We just have today. So that's my message to you today. And if you really, like I said, my name is Billy. If you really like what I've shared with you, come along with me on this journey. It's be a good ride. I could be a little funny, sometimes corny sometimes, but we can have some laughs too along the way. And if we need to shed some tears, we can shed some tears. But that's my purpose. So I'm in my purpose right now. The Most High showed me that I was going to have be on a stage and be talking to thousands and thousands of people. I saw a sea of people. I never thought the stage would be this platform called YouTube, where I can reach the masses from a central location. I don't have to be on a physical stage. I can be on a platform, which is a stage, which is YouTube or other social media. So that's why I'm here today. Like I said, my name is Billy. If you like what I'm sharing with you, please take the time to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get this out. There are a lot of people that are hurting, a lot of people that are lonely, a lot of people that don't feel love. And if I can give somebody a hug through a word, then that's a beautiful thing. And if you can give somebody a hug through your words, do that, man. It's better to help someone heal than to create another wound. And so with that, I say goodbye to you for right now. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. All right. Thank you. Bye.